And with that, just want you to come back again. I see our beautiful speaker has arrived. And we're going into our next beautiful speaker, and I will continue a little later in this beautiful meditation. Matthew, are you ready? I just saw you. Where are you?
Greetings,
There
greetings.
you are.
Yes, as it turns out, I am actually ready. I thought I was on in an hour, but we are ready to go now. So
Yes, we are.
perfect. Anyway, yeah, thank you for that. Was actually a really, really good a way to do it because I just popped in the meeting and I'm like, boom, here we go. So anyway, greetings everyone. So for those of you guys, and I imagine most everybody here already knows this, but over the next 24 hours is a really, really big just moment of opportunity when it comes to your own personal timelines of expansion, of manifestation, of letting go of, all kinds of stuff. Am I letting people in the waiting room? I'll just be
I do
letting
that. Don't
people in.
worry.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
noticed that
yes.
popped up on my screen. But anyway, just let me introduce myself really, really quickly because this is always the funnest part. We are in such a cool opportunity phase right now, but let me get the important introductions out of the way. My name is Matthew. I guess I'm what you would call a professional psychic, and this is always such a loaded term, such a loaded word in the new age, if you want to call it that community, because the word means something different to everyone. But I would call myself a professional psychic and energetic practitioner, meaning that I would say the majority of my time these days is spent not only kind of planning out and looking at what's going on in people's worlds energetically, but also clearing away negative energies from the body, whether that be at times like entities, if you want to use that term. Some people use the term implantation, trauma, just a lot of emotional energy that we're gathering. And so that's literally all I do at this stage of the journey on earth. I was one of those people who I did not even know this was what I was going to do until right around when I hit the age 40. And I had a sudden life change in my world, and boom, all of a sudden, this stage began. And so every once in a while, I get to do these events where we just pop in and kind of do some readings, talk about what's going on. And I think today is a really good day to be doing readings because, like I was saying, we're in an incredibly opportunistic stage. So if you're here, what I think we're going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling some people from the chat or from the viewers list. For those of you guys that want a reading, we'll do really, really quick ones, maybe 2 minutes or so. And you can ask a question, or I can just do a general reading. But if we do a general reading today, we're going to be looking at what is it that we need to know about our current timeline right now. Because I'm positive somebody that's spoken has already talked about the astrological significance of the eclipse today, which is huge. Which is huge. We have like a direct pipeline to what we would call, some people call it galactic center, other people call it, the higher self, some people call it source. Some of us call it God as we understand it, but this is a very, very good time to petition spirit to let them know what it is that you're letting go of, especially what you're letting go of right now. For those of you guys that already know, we had an eclipse on the 7th that was much more about welcoming in new change. It was almost like choosing what is it that I want to create at this stage of my life now. And now that we're sort of sealing the deal here on the 21st, what we're doing next is we're saying, well, we know what we're bringing in. What are we letting go of? And so maybe today our readings, if you want, they're going to be about like what does spirit have to say about what we're letting go of? And so anyway, we're going to do some readings. Thanks for hanging out here, you guys. I'm just going to grab some people from the chat. I see somebody with their hand raised. That's a really good way to do it. So we're going to start with you, hand raising person, Deborah Reimer. And I'm going to pull a card for you. I'll look in the chat and see if there's a question from you. Don't worry if you don't have a question. There's no question necessary. But we just kind of pull a card and see what Spirit has to say. I'll just mention my website really quickly. It's rememberyourmission.com. This is literally the only thing that I do in this world now, which is both kind of cool and semi-embarrassing at the same time. I'm being totally real. People that know me know I'm going to say that. They're like, oh, yeah, he's probably going to say that's the only thing he knows how to do. But it's kind of true. Anyway, before I talk on and on, let's take a breath. Deborah, I see you there on your screen. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and you and I are going to take a breath in together like a team, seriously. At the same time, we'll just hold it for a second and then we'll let it go. And for everybody else here that's looking for tips and trying to learn how to psychically connect with people in this world, this is a tried and true method, which is honestly the bulk of what I do now is teach people how to open up their abilities. But it's really helpful. You take a breath in with a person, it allows you to get a good, if you want to call it, whiff of their energy. That sounds silly, but anyway, here we go. We're going to do this breath together, Deborah. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. And you can let it go as you please. For all those of you, oh, there it is already. For all those of you assisting Deborah, you are at a stage right now where the power of your voice, the willingness to communicate, the willingness to expand, or we could even say explode vocally in some way, is very, very helpful for you. There's a tremendous amount of what I would call depth. We might call it knowledge. We might call it information about things in this world that you, honestly, you didn't even learn it. It's like you came in with a lot of stuff. So I could see how that would create discrepancies for you in this life, and how you might not have been acknowledged in certain stages, or people didn't really give you like fully what you were worth, because they were like, how do you know? You don't know anything. What the hell do you have to offer? And so what I would say is right now, this is a stage of your life where learning to really project the voice. I'm going to say a very strong thing to everyone here. It's so unspiritual. Okay, get ready, everybody. Here we go. It might also be a good time to tell some people to fuck off. I'm just being real. I'm seriously, that's part of expansion and activation of the throat chakra. You know what I mean? We can be like love and light all you want, but at a certain point, it's like you have to open up the earth-based elements of it. And so I would say just for you right now, that's the thing that you're doing. It's like you're really expanding the voice. Let me pull a card for you before we go too far. Because I know I only have half an hour, so we'll see how many of these we get through. Here we go. 3, 2, 1 for Deborah Reimer. Here we go. Boom. Let me move the chat screen. I usually put it right in front of my face so I don't have to look at myself. Okay, here you go. Congratulations, Deborah Reimer. Don't worry if you don't know anything about tarot. I mean this sincerely. You've received a 6 of Cups. There's some tarot people out there that are going to be like, oh, they're going to know. You might know in your own way. But if you are looking for something, because remember the focus is what are we letting go? What are we manifesting in this eclipse alignment? The 6 of Cups is one of the most tried and true signs that comes into your life that says it's time for you to embrace the inner child. It's time for you to play like a child. It's time for you to connect with the things that maybe your parents wouldn't let you have when you were a little kid. Sometimes that's even like food or like cake or something, like whatever it is that you were not allowed or you were deprived from as a child. The 6 of Cups will come into your life and say there's a healing opportunity for you in that. And it's not necessarily about the broken, wounded aspect of our inner child, because we all know there's many pieces of that. We know this is the part of your inner child that wants to play, that wants to run around and be silly and just like laugh at nothing. And so if you were looking for guidance in terms of how to conduct the self over the coming days, this is a time to really connect with that childlike element of yourself. If you were looking for something to let go of, because when this stage, with this eclipse, it's also like what we're letting go of. We're letting go of those things that block us from childlike joy, those things that keep us locked in what some may call the banalities of the adult human world. You know what I mean? The things that smash out your imagination and keep you locked in procedure and repetition. You're going to be letting those things go. I would also say, and this will be the last thing before we move on, I would just say in general, just based on your auric field, you're in a stage right now where experimentation is very critical for you. So please experiment with relationships, things, ideas, activities that almost frighten you a little bit. It'll be good for you. It's not going to put you in trouble. You have a really good like boundary barrier thing, so you'll know how far to go. But this is a good time for experimentation. So I'm going to stop there. I pray that helps in some way. And we're We're going to keep going, you guys, because I know I have very limited time. Okay. So I'm going to scroll wildly through all the people that have their hands raised. I don't know who my little thing is going to land on. So I'm just going to grab one of the hand raising people here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's Maria Fells. Hello, Maria Fells. Let me know if you have a question. I'm going to check the chat here. I don't see it. So no worries. We're gonna do a general reading for you, Maria Fells, and just see what shows up. What do we need to know? We do have kind of I suppose you could call it a discount code. For those of you guys that do want to book a session, you can go to rememberyourmission.com. And if you enter the code, I believe it is breakthrough, all one word, all capital letters, you will get 20% off any session that you choose. And don't worry, it's super accessible. I hate those people out there that are like, oh yeah, you can do a reading with me and it's only going to be $500. And you're like, what? I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that's able to get that, but I'm like, I don't know. To me, I think that removes accessibility for regular people. And so we keep it very accessible. Anyway, before I talk on and on, here we go. This is for Maria Fells. I see you there. Thanks for rolling through. We're going to take that breath in together, me and you, like a team, Maria. Don't worry, there's no wrong way to do it. I'll count from 3 to 1. In 3, 2, 1, breathe in. You can just hold it for a moment and just breathe it out. Today, I will begin by saying, and I say this with love and respect, this is a question for you to ask yourself. Where is my passion? What am I desperately, passionately burning for or seeking at this stage of my life? Because I'm just going to be real. When I feel into you, it feels like there's a lot of capability and a lot of opportunity for that to occur within you. But it's like a certain amount of your energy these days is kind of just caught up in like routines and stuff and like just taking care of business and handling things. And honestly, you feel like a little bit isolated. You might not be. So you're like, no, I'm not. Maybe we're reading energy around you, but this is a very good time for you, I would say, to break from routines, to begin to this might sound kind of cheesy, but I'm being real. It's like you're going to turn right where you would have turned left. You're going to go to a different grocery store than you normally go to. You're going to drive a little bit farther. You're going to try that thing that, I don't know, maybe it frightens you a little bit. It's like spirit is going to bring into your life a certain form of like a crossroads moment where you're going to kind of, and I know this could be a somewhat of a strange term for people. It's like they're going to offer you a path of adventure in some way or a path of discovery, but it comes from your willingness to engage with your daily life in a very, very different way. It's like you've kind of just been rolling along with like the routines of like, yeah, that's how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Please don't take that as like negative idea, because it's just how it goes for most of us. We call it dictated reality versus the reality that you're creating. And I think you might be at a stage where you're not aware of how much power and ability you have to kind of form the world around you. I would say one thing, but just before I pull a card for you, look very closely at the corner of people's eyes and the lines around their mouths when they speak. You have an ability to kind of read into people's body language and just the expressions of their face that gives you more data than it would give somebody else. Like you're just going to be able to be like, I think he feels like this, or I get this idea from this person. That's a very real thing for you, which can be improved, just so you know. But anyway, before we go, I'm going to pull a card for you. We'll keep it, I'm just trying to keep it rolling, So here we go. 3, 2, 1 for Maria. Here we go. Oh, live in the moment. You got a 9 of Cups. Wow, this is a different message. We'll make it quick because this one unlocks a big can of worms in your life. Don't worry, it's usually a good can of worms. Some people know 9 of Cups. This is a very good time to let things go. It's funny because I was talking about that with the eclipse, but I mean physical things, stuff that you've gathered, things that you've stored up, stuff that you still have in your house from like, I don't know, 1996 or something, or like old clothes that are still crammed in the back of your closet. And you're like, one day, maybe I'll wear them. I'm going to be real. You're not going to wear them. So just this is a really good time to understand that you're clearing up like build up, you're clearing up belongings, you're getting rid of stuff, you're putting it out on the curb. And it's usually a good thing with Nine of Cups because Nine of Cups will bring wish fulfillment into your life. That sounds very fortune tellery, right? Like wish fulfillment, what? Meaning that there's a thing that we will long for that suddenly becomes available in our life. And when it comes in the context of the Nine of Cups, it's because you made room for it. It's like because you got rid of stuff and you cleared out this area where you're like, that's where I'm going to put my new whatever it is. So it's like if you have a desire like that right now, one of the ways you're going to get it is by making a space for it in your life. And for right now, there will be nothing to go in that space. So don't feel bad. You're going to have this huge empty space and you're like, what am I going to put there? As long as you know what it is that you're shooting for and manifesting at this stage of your life, please have faith. The more you get rid of, the more it becomes available. So I know that sounds paradoxical, right? You're like, really? You're telling me the more I get rid of right now, the greater the chance that Spirit's going to bring me something new. Yeah, straight up. It's very tried and true with the Nine of Cups. Just don't allow yourself to fall into excess. That'll be my last statement on that. The downside of Nine of Cups, for those of you guys that know, there's some tarot people out there always. But the downside of Nine of Cups is that it's too much, too fast, and we drown in something, and you get so much of a good thing that you're like, oh God, what do I do next? So that, watch out. Careful what you wish for. You could get that. But I hope that helps. Please have faith in yourself and trust in your ability to read the faces of others. And we'll keep rolling. Thank you. I think we have time for maybe a couple more, right? It's 12:25. I'm going to count on you, Astrid, to let me know when I get close to my time here so I don't run over anyone else's time. Okay, somebody just had
Absolutely, no worries.
Okay, cool. Somebody just had a really cool, it was like a beach background. Was that a Vanessa G? Somehow you had a beach background and it shot up to the top of my screen. So I think we're gonna choose this person next. There we go. Yeah, all right, nice. Vanessa G, we're gonna do a reading for you. If you have a question and you're quick on the chat, you can put it in the chat, or if you're even quicker, you can unmute yourself. There's no need to have a question though. And so we'll just give it a quick moment. And just like we did with everyone else, we're going to take that breath in together. Actually, no, we're going to do a slightly different one, Vanessa G. This is once again for those of you guys out there that are learning how to connect psychically to other people's energy so that you can read or perceive what's happening within the auric field or the energy around them. And so instead of taking a breath, Vanessa G, close your eyes with me. This will be really, really fast. And what I'd like you to do is just imagine for a quick moment that you're opening up every door in your home. Everyone knows what their front door looks like. So see your hand opening the front door, open the back door, open all the windows. Even if it's cold outside or hot where you live, just imagine you're opening every window. It's real easy and quick in your imagination. And then get ready, open up all the drawers and all the closets and all the cupboards. And your refrigerator, open your refrigerator in your mind's eye. Open, if you have a washing machine, open it up. You get the idea. We're opening all the doors. Take a slow breath. For those of you guiding Vanessa, I'm just looking for anything that needs to be seen or heard. Yeah, we're already there. Okay, confidence and self-trust. If you do know how to do energy work, start working on your solar plexus. If you don't know how to do energy work, this is one of the most greatest times on earth to ever learn how to do it. Maybe you're very experienced in your own right. Maybe you're just scratching the surface of something that's beginning. The mere fact that you are here today usually means that you will have an aptitude or an ability in one of the areas that is being demonstrated by the people that are here. And I think that for you, like if you're able to generate confidence and self-trust within the body on a different level, especially when it comes to things that are unseen, like a willingness to jump off a cliff, we might even say, like a leap of faith, as they call it, you're due for a really, really big expansion. By expansion, I mean just a explosion or an improvement in your awareness of just what's going on around you and what people are thinking and how they're feeling, and what we call like the energetic temperature of the world. It's like kind of like somebody else that we were just talking to. You have a large store of that information within you, which for some people, you guys, you will notice this as you go on and do this work. People will carry bubbles of energy in certain parts of the body. I would say yours is in solar plexus and it's just ready to be used. So I say this a lot lately, which has been going on with the eclipses, but prioritization of desire is very, very helpful. Like to deeply prioritize, what do I want to become right now? What is most important to me? Anyway, I'm going to pull a card for you. That might be somewhat indeterminate. But however, it kind of makes sense that it would be indeterminate if you have a large amount of unassigned energy. It would almost be like many roads are possible, many outcomes are possible, almost as if the person must choose more solidly what they want to become. But anyway, ready? Here we go. We're going to pull a card for you. 3, 2, 1, and boom. Whoa, Vanessa G. Hello, you got a 4 of Cups. This is an interesting time in a person's life. We'll make it quick because I feel like I'm running out of time here, but you've got a 4 of Cups. Look, here's the thing, and this is one that other people are going to feel as well. So if you feel this is about you, it probably is as well. You guys, when a 4 of Cups comes into your life, you might be aware of how much you've not been doing. You might notice everyone else getting involved in things around you, doing this, doing that, learning this, going all these places, and instead you might be sitting there going, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I going? How did I get these 3 cups in front of me? What are they even doing here? What am I going to fill these cups with? And wait a minute, wait. Isn't this the 4 of Cups? Wait, where's my 4th cup? I only see 3 cups in front of me. There's a lot of questions that come into one's life in this stage. There's a lot of pondering. There's a lot of wondering. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of what ifs that come in, and there's not a lot of action. So when a 4 of Cups comes into your life, and this is the same for all the 4s in the world of tarot, you guys. For those that know tarot, you'll know that every 4 is a pause. And so if you're wondering what's happening around me right now, what am I meant to be doing? Congratulations. Not that much. Really, this is a time for planning and pondering, for you to be waiting to be shown a sign. Just don't ask the same questions over and over again, because there's a chance they've already told you the answer. But so yeah, this is a time for planning, pondering, meditation, waiting, not much action. You will be given a new destination or direction, oftentimes within about a month, maybe. I give it a few weeks, but this is a time for pause and rest. And so I think I'll pause it there since since this is the universal pause card. Anyway, how are we doing on time?
We are on time.
Okay, cool. So
Matthew, do you want to talk about your beautiful gift that you have for us, and then
yes.
we switch over to the next speaker?
Yeah, totally. And first off, thanks. I know there's a bunch of other people that wanted readings. We do this monthly on Patreon. We just had our 5-year anniversary literally yesterday. So me and my wife do a reading group where we do this literally every month for 5 years. You can find me at rememberyourmission.com. And we have a little bit of an offer there. When you book a session right now, whether it be a reading session or an energy clearing session, enter the code BREAKTHROUGH, all capital letters, all one word. That will give you 20% off the cost of a session, this is a really good time to be seeking such things right now, given the eclipses and how so many people are being poised for a new trajectory in your life. So if you feel drawn to it, we're certainly available. And the word is breakthrough, all one word, all capital letters. And with that, I guess I'll let you go. Thank you for having me, and good luck to everyone else that's speaking. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much for being here. This was really, really incredible, and thank you for your beautiful gift.
Totally. Thank you.
We are going to send you gift link as well around here in the chat, as well as in the next coming days. We will send multiple reminders about the replays and about those gifts. And So yeah, so that people can find your website as well, because I always know this is the most important question. How can I get in touch? Yes. Thank you so
Cool.
much for being here,
Absolutely.
Matthew. It was
Thank you as well.
wonderful.
Have a really good day, everybody.
Thank you. And our next speaker is already here. That is Christine here. She is.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. A glass of water, exactly like everybody. I really invite everybody to drink lots of water today because this is deep, deep cleansing today, really. And thank you, Christine, for being here. And would
Yeah.
you like to introduce yourself? And here is the floor for you.
Awesome. Well, hi. Nice to meet you all and nice to see some familiar faces. I just saw Belinda pop on. Hi. How are you? So my name's Christine Volden, and I am a psychic and channeler. I also am a person who teaches people how to sell. And so I worked for over 15 years in a corporate environment for Fortune 500 companies, managing sales teams. And I always thought those two things did not interact, right? I didn't think like the sales part mixed with the spiritual part. And I really had to think about that. And in the last, I would say 5 years, I've really realized that selling is actually a spiritual act. So that's what I want to talk about today. And even if you're not a business person, this is relevant because we're every single day we're selling, right? Selling is in essence asking for what you want. And so we're doing that all the time, whether you're a parent trying to convince your kids to, get ready on time, whether you're, trying to convince your friends to watch a movie together, right? We're always asking for things. And so the reason why this is very spiritual is because number one, it activates your throat chakra, right? You're asking for something that you need, which means that you have to recognize your own needs, right? You have to ask for it. And then the act of like receiving requires a whole nother thing, right? To be able to receive someone, even if you're, saying like, hey, I want to go to this movie, for people to say, yeah, I agree, I'm going to do what you want today. That's an act of receiving, right? And then if you're actually selling something, it's even more powerful because you're receiving actually money in the exchange. So I have a little presentation. Can I share my screen?
Yep, hold on, let me just do that.
Oh, no,
There
I'm
you
able
go.
to do that. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Can you guys see my screen? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit today, and then I'm totally open to questions. And I can do many readings around money and this idea of work for people, because this has been coming up quite a lot for a lot of my clients. And I know like money is an issue that affects all of us, right? So let's talk about the sacred act of selling. So this is really about transforming subconscious beliefs, right? Because we all take on beliefs. When I do readings for people, I read higher self. And I look for three main things. And I look for, number one, other people's energy that is affecting us, right? So that could be a specific person, like a parent or someone we've had a challenging relationship with. It could be a group of people, right? Or it could be like the collective, right? So I look for other people's energy. Number two, I look for programming, because we've all been programmed, whether that's being programmed by society, from, our parents growing up, from religion, from school, from, social media. We create these beliefs. And in metaphysical principles, if you if there is a belief that you accept, it has to manifest in your body or your environment. So if you have a belief, money is the root of all evil, that will manifest in your environment, right? 100%. The more you believe it, it will manifest. Now, vice versa, if you believe money comes to me and is a gift and it's like, effortless, that will also manifest. But the way to really have a firm belief is to clear out any other programming that you have. Now, the third area I look for is past or parallel lives. I say, they're all parallel, but I say past lives. It is a little easier to understand. And sometimes we have something that hasn't been completed in one life that we're completing in this one. Or sometimes we have a gift from one life that we really need in this one, right? So I've been doing this a lot with people, looking at like really positive past lives where we have something that we need to experience in this lifetime and trying to like merge those. So that's why I say it's transforming subconscious beliefs, because money is a big one. I mean, raise your hand if you believe you have some programming around money, right? Pretty much everyone, yeah, has that, because we all like come up with these ideas from growing up, from all of these different things. Okay, so I really believe, so I have a method called the quiet selling method. It's something that I channeled many years ago. I only realized, I think in the last year, that I actually channeled this information, because I worked in sales for 20 years, right, for these big companies. And I thought, like, wow, I've made these companies a lot of money. I'd really like to help people make money individually, right? Whether that's you as an entrepreneur, whether that's you just manifesting money, however that is, that's really what I see my role as now, is teaching people how to do these things for themselves, because I'm very big around this kind of concept of seniority and owning your own personal power, because I believe we can all create the life that we want. So I really believe our intuition is your greatest gift. We all have it. I am psychic, but so is every single person watching this. It is a gift that we were given for being in these human bodies. There is not a single person out there who is not psychic the way that I am. The only difference is that I have practiced it enough to be very clear. So I have very clear, like, I'm able to discern, okay, what's my psychic information versus, what I'm thinking, right? And then I believe it. So a lot of you are getting psychic information all the time, and you just either think it's a coincidence or think like, oh no, that's not right. But like, you are all literally psychic. It is a gift we all have, right? So I've gone from, working in sales for 15, 20 years for big companies, to really realizing, hey, the secret ingredient to doing all of this is our intuition. So I'm not going to read this all over, but that's kind of, and so what I've learned, right, is our beliefs create our reality, right? Going back to that metaphysical principle, what we believe has to manifest. So if you're like, well, how do I make money? Well, then the job is for you to create a belief that supports that, right? And it doesn't have to be being an entrepreneur and selling. It could be, hey, I'm going to just receive money, or money's going to flow to me effortlessly, or whatever it is. Okay, so I ask people all the time, like, how do you feel about the word selling? And I ask this typically to like spiritual entrepreneurs, but this is some of the answers that I get, right? Obnoxious, greedy, anxious, uncomfortable, aggressive, embarrassed, uncomfortable, guilty, right? And so why do we feel this way? I mean, this is programming, right? We've been taught to believe money is evil or money is bad. I mean, you think about all of the different media, right? And I think my kids have pointed out this when they were really young. They were like, how come in movies all of the kids who have money are mean, right? So this is like a running theme that we see all throughout history. And then, of course, our media, right? We love to talk about how evil billionaires are, but there are actually billionaires that really do amazing things and support us, right? But the news doesn't talk about them as much. We like to talk about the villains, right? We like to talk about everything that is wrong instead of all of the things that are right. So there's a lot of good things happening out there, but we have this kind of like negativity bias, and like people are just drawn to like the drama, right? It sells more media, and then therefore we get programmed more. Okay, so where do our beliefs come from? So they come from a couple different places. And I was saying this. So they come from programming, right? Childhood, schools, organization. Think about, if you are Christian, the story of Jesus, right? The story, he had to sacrifice himself for all of us, right? And we're all told, oh, he sacrificed for you. But there's this, undercurrent that we all hear that, we believe, oh, I have to sacrifice to be worthy, right? No one ever is criticized for working too hard, but people are criticized all the time for just resting, right? And they're called lazy or unmotivated, or there's something wrong with you. But really, like, that's what's really valuable. Our whole culture and society values like overworking ourselves and never validates the fact that we need to rest. The energies of people around us, right? So this again is friends, families, coworkers, community, really everything. You go into an airport, right? Many people come out of that very drained, and we think, oh, travel is so draining. Yeah, it's because you're going into a busy airport and there's all this energy coming up on you and you don't know how to manage it. And then again, past or parallel lives, right? Lessons that we are still completing. So that's kind of where these beliefs come from. So then how do we reprogram them is the next question. And my slide is not moving. Oh, here we go. So if we think about selling, here's a great way to reprogram, right? We need a new belief to start, right? So what if we think of selling as a spiritual act instead of something that makes me feel bad or makes me feel guilty? And you can replace this with any belief you want to change, right? But you need a different belief to start with. So you need to come up with a phrase that is positive. So if it's not about selling, maybe it's about money. Maybe I believe money is a spiritual tool, right? You could say something like that. So selling really is serving and healing. If I were to offer you a piece of candy, right? If I were to say, hey, Belinda, do you want a piece of this candy? I wouldn't feel guilty for offering that if you came to my home and I offered that. And I also wouldn't feel bad if you said like, no, thanks. I'm not eating candy right now, right? There's no part of that would feel uncomfortable. All those words that we had in the beginning, where people are anxious, feel bad, feel greedy, none of that would come up if you were simply offering someone something. And that's why I always say like selling really is serving, and it's really healing as well. So selling, number one, is about asking for what we want, right? So this is third chakra. Right? Third is about power and energy distribution throughout your body. It's about your personal power, taking seniority over your experience, right? So third chakra, fifth chakra, throat chakra, right? It's your inner and your outer voice, right? The more you use that, the more you're validating yourself. We're in a society that constantly invalidates us, right? Tells us we are not worthy, tells us we have to sacrifice, tells us we cannot rest, right? This is what society tells us everywhere we see, whether it's the leadership, in our country, whether it's the media, whether it's like celebrity culture, right? We have to be beautiful. We have to be perfect. We have to be able to balance all these things, right? No one's ever glorified who is still trying to figure it out, which is really terrible because we're all trying to figure it out. So third and fifth chakra, really, really important. Money really represents priorities, right? Just like a lot of things, money on its own doesn't have an energy. It's the energy we put on it, right? So we can say money represents evil, money represents problems, right? All of these things. Or we can say, hey, money represents freedom. It represents me being empowered. It represents independence and recognition, right? Because when we earn money or we receive money, that's what we get. So if we can visualize ourselves in a place where we have enough money that it takes care of all of our basic needs, right? And we feel wonderfully, then how does that make us feel? And so that's why I would say if you have challenging, feelings about money and you don't feel like any of these, just start to visualize like, well, what would it be like if I did have so much money I didn't have to worry about it? What would I feel in my body, right? Because we are souls in a body. It's really important for us to recognize that and feel safe in our bodies. And the reality is having enough money for most people will make them feel safe. There are some times you've had a past life where maybe you've had a lot of money and it was taken from you, or there was some kind of like problem. And that's fine too, because you can clear that out. But just imagine like, hey, how does my body feel? Because for most people, it's like, I feel relaxed now. I don't have to worry about bills or stress or whatever, right? And so that really is a feeling of being safe in your body. So that's actually first chakra as well. So because first chakra is about safety and being safe in your body. And then selling is offering our gift to those who need it. So by sharing our gifts, first of all, we have to own that gift, which is amazing. And then we have to acknowledge the divinity that we have within ourselves, right? Because all of these gifts, right? And like I said, everyone is psychic at some level and has intuitive gifts. It's different for everybody. But that's really recognizing the divinity within all of us. Each and every person has that, right? And I would say like that lives in your heart chakra, but to be able to accept that you are divine on your own without having to do anything, without having to learn anything, without having to sacrifice, right? Accepting that in yourself and offering that to another is a really beautiful, sacred act, right? And that alone is so validating. And that's why I'm saying like, at this time, in history, it's never been more important to share our sacred gifts. And that's why I love summits like this, because everyone has different gifts. And to share them is so important at this time when, we're struggling and people are unclear and there's this, crazy AI going on. Like, the one thing that can never be replaced and that we will always have no matter what is the connection to our intuition. So if you're a person who has spiritual gifts, it is extremely important for you to share them at this time, not just for yourself, but for everybody, because this is the one thing that like everyone's going to need more of just at this time. Okay, so how do we reprogram? So number one, we want to identify the belief, and I'm going to walk you guys through a quick visualization on this. Where did this belief come from, right? So it could be programming, like I said, other people's energy, past lives, and this is exactly what I do in a reading. And then we want to release the energy and keep the lesson. We're all kind of like set up as kind of an onion. And I always say you're peeling back the onion. So when I do a reading for people, I try to look at the deepest thing they're ready to clear, but you're usually not ready to clear everything. I mean, I've been doing this work for like 10 years and I'm peeling the onion for myself. There's always a level deeper. So it's not a thing that we're trying to fix necessarily, and that's a bad way to look at it. You just want to look at it like, what can I clear that's appropriate for me right now? So are you guys ready to go into a meditation? It's going to be pretty quick, but okay, wonderful. So I want everyone to close their eyes, take a deep breath. If you're able to, put your feet on the ground. And just feel the earth energy coming up through your feet. You can open up your feet chakras, or just at the bottom of your feet, and you can just visualize them opening up super wide and letting that energy of the earth come in. It's super healing for us. You can allow that to flow up through your feet, up to your knees, and then from your knees up to your hips. And then you can just let that fall out of your first chakra, just at the base of your spine. Beautiful. And then let's imagine a beautiful grounding cord from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. And we're going to give it a little imaginary tug to make sure it's really secure there. Beautiful. And then just imagine your aura. And I always say your aura should be around 18 inches around you. So if you put your arms out on either side, that gives you an imaginary visual. And you can imagine your aura is equally spaced around you, below your feet, above you. And you're going to coat that beautiful aura in what I call certainty blue. And we just do that to give it a little bit of definition. And so we can see the difference between our aura and the outside world. And then outside of that aura, I want you to just place a beautiful rose, and you can pick any color you'd like. And that rose, I call a protection rose. And that's a beautiful buffer between your energy and the outside world. So if you were to go into an airport or a busy space, or even if you're just interacting people, it absorbs some of that energy from that the world or that other person before it gets to your aura. So just put a beautiful gold or whatever color rose you'd like. And you can make it as large or as small as you'd like. You can actually put many roses if you'd like to do that. And let's just put that outside of our aura. Beautiful. And then I just want you to find a space in the center of your head. So imagine about 2 inches behind your eyes. There's a beautiful ball of golden energy. And I call this space our command center. And this is where we have total neutrality. There's no stress. And this is where we get in touch with our intuition. It's right in the center of our head. So let's just imagine a beautiful golden ball of energy there. And we're going to expand that energy out. And as we expand it, we're going to push out any energy that doesn't belong to us, from any people, places, things, any programming, any cording, any things from other people, any past lives. And if you're seeing it visually, beautiful. If you're not, it's okay. Sometimes we get like knowingness. And what I say is I'm just pushing out any pictures seen and unseen, any energy seen and unseen, and we're pushing that outside of our aura. Beautiful. And let that awesome earth energy again come up through your feet. And this time we're going to run it up a little bit. We're going to use this energy. The energy of the earth is so beautifully cleansing, especially because we are in bodies on this earth. And so it's incredibly powerful. So you can imagine this earth energy as a beautiful green or brown or even an ocean color. And allow that to come up through your feet, up to your ankles. And as we bring this in, it's just clearing out our body of any energy that we don't need, with the intention to clean out any programming that we have around money and selling and abundance in general. And you're going to bring this energy up to your knees. And again, it's cleaning out any energy that we don't need, anything from even past or parallel lives that we don't need. And then you're going to bring it up to your thighs and just feel that beautiful power of the earth that's coming through our whole body to cleanse us. And then you're going to bring it up to around your belly button. And again, cleansing out. This is our, it's covering our second chakra, which is feeling the emotions of others. So it's helping to release any cords that we have there, any programming. And then you're going to bring it up to about your chest and clearing out our third chakra, cleaning out any energy that doesn't belong to us. Then we're going to bring it up to our neck. And we're going to make sure it goes all the way down to our fingertips. Beautiful, clearing out our heart chakra and our ability to receive any blocks that we have there. Then we're going to bring it up to our throat, clearing out any disconnection we have to our inner and outer voice. Then we're going to bring it up our neck and to our spine, and bring it to the back of your head. We have so much programming in the back of our brain and our brain stem. So let's just let it pool there and clean out anything that we don't need that's not serving us. And then bring it all the way to the top of your head and just leave a little space for your crown chakra there, because it doesn't really need to go there. And then it's just clearing out even the front of our head, the center of our head. And then finally, now let it just drain. So just imagine you're pulling the plug from your root chakra and you're letting all of that drain out. And as it's draining, it's all of the information and all of the energy that you don't need, that is not serving you for this purpose. And let all of that just clear out through your first chakra. You're just draining all of that earth energy out. And what it leaves behind is this beautiful golden sparkle that is your own highest gold and your own beautiful energy. Beautiful, nice job. And now I want you to come up with an empowering phrase that feels appropriate to you. It could be something like, money and abundance flow effortlessly to me. It could be that, selling is empowering, or that money is empowering. But I want you to come up with a phrase that feels really good for you in your body. And I want you to feel that in your heart chakra, which is right in the center of your chest. And I just want you to feel into that. I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to analyze it. I just want you to feel it and feel how your body feels with that vibration. And then I want you to give it a color, whatever that color feels like to you, whatever that positive phrase is, give it a color. It should be a color you love or a color that represents that. And I want you to identify that color. And I want you to remember that color, because you can bring this in during the week. Bring that into your heart chakra. Beautiful. And so I want you to just integrate and bring that beautiful color, whatever it is that represents this idea, and think about the feeling of that and the color of that, and just bring that into your heart chakra in the center of your chest. So just imagine that color kind of oozing and infusing with every single cell there. So you're integrating that belief. Beautiful. And then finally, we're going to bring our own gold. Gold is our own highest vibration. So bring in your own personal gold through the top of your head, your crown chakra. Imagine that coming into the top of your crown, filling in your entire body and aura. And it's mixing with that gold in your heart. I'm hearing that some of you picked gold already, and that's fine. So don't worry about it. And let that gold seep in. And that's just filling up your space with your own highest vibration. And this is your own gold. You have an unlimited supply of this for all time. So you can take in your own gold at any time. Beautiful. And so let it fill up your whole aura, down to your fingertips, down to your toes. And when you feel complete, you can open up your eyes. And then I always recommend, if you can, bend forward at the waist and touch the ground in balance. If you don't feel comfortable for that, you just bend your head and tip your head forward, and it will help you integrate. Beautiful. How do you guys feel? You can give me a visual. Oh, great. Oh, Belinda's saying she's spinning a little. If you feel a little lightheaded, just make sure you ground. That's why I always say tip your head forward or touch the ground. It helps you balance. And you can just try bringing in your own gold. If anybody feels more lightheaded after, great things to help you ground are chocolate, funny enough, and like coffee, like kind of earthy, like tasting foods are very, very grounding. So I only have a couple minutes. I want to tell you really quickly about the special offer that I have for you guys. Number one, if you go to my website, christinevolden.com, there's tons of free stuff. I'm actually starting a free embodied meditation group on Tuesdays. It's starting this week. It's not even up there yet. So that will be coming, and I'm having a couple free workshops that are coming up. But for you guys, if you are on the summit, I do special discounted readings. My regular readings are $300. And again, exactly what we talked about in this session is what I work on. And I'm going to stop sharing. So I know some of my previous clients are in this, like Belinda's done many readings with me. And so I look at your higher self. So it's usually $300 for people for the summit. I do it for $170. So it's a really great deal. If you'd like to do a reading with me and you're looking for a discounted rate, I would love to do one for you. I think I was just testing the link and it looked like it wasn't working. But let me just see. Oh, we have the selling code. Oh, okay. Oh, we have this link. Okay, so we have 2 free gifts. So you have a discounted reading, and I'll send a link for that after. And then the selling code, this says Friday, September 5th. We're doing it again this coming week. So if you sign up for it, you'll see it. You'll get the recording, and you'll get the information for that. So apologies, I had the wrong outdated link. I do a lot of summits, so sometimes I forget what link I provided. So sorry about that. So I know we're at time, and I know you have other speakers, so I want to be respectful of that.
Thank you so much, Christine. Just to check, is the link that we just posted the right one?
It is one of them, yes. So I have, and I'll put, actually what I'll do is I'll alter this so you guys also see a link to the reading as well. So I'll just put it on this page so you just have it on there because I can add it really quickly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was wonderful to have you guys. And
amazing.
If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I also do free 15-minute consultations. You'll see them right at on my website if you go there. So if anybody is feeling like they have questions, I'm happy to talk about it.